Did you happen to listen closely to our first reading today from the book of Job? It's a wonderful reading. To me, it often expresses exactly how I feel. You know, if I were to put my own words in Job's mouth or use my own words to describe what he's saying, I think Job would say, you know, folks, life sucks. And I don't want to deal with it anymore. I can't sleep. Days go too fast. Everything's going wrong. I can't do this anymore. I'm depressed. I can't find any joy in my life. I just want life to be over with. I want God to do something. God doesn't seem to be around. Those are my words. But that's the gist of what Joel is saying to us today. And haven't you felt that way? Particularly over this last year? Haven't you had those days when you just wanted to give up? When maybe the struggle of depression set in? When maybe you wondered where God was? When you just maybe had to drag yourself out of bed and around the house? And there was no joy. There was no goodness in some respects. I know I have. So what do? Do we just give in? Well, if we read the whole book of Job, he didn't do that. He didn't give in. He did something that St. Paul told us to do in that second reading. He began to recognize hope again, joy again, the gift of life again, because he began to do everything for God, just like St. Paul does. He said, I do everything for God. I may not do it perfectly. I may have my bad days, but I'm doing it for God, and that makes all the difference. But how? How do we get from Job to St. Paul? Jesus. What does Jesus do? Today we see a little part of his early ministry. And what happens? They overwhelm him at Peter's house. You know, he's happy to help Peter's mother-in-law, but then everybody comes. All kinds of diseases, possessions, difficulties, struggles. So much so that probably Jesus might have had a sleepless night like Job describes. And what does he do? Early in the morning, he goes off by himself and prays. There's the antidote. There's the vaccine that gets us through to where our God wants us to be. It's prayer. It's our conversation with God. It might be formal prayer. It might be the rosary. It might be any number of prayers. It just might be the words from the deep part of our heart. We might have to tell God that our life sucks right now. And that's okay. Because in that prayer, we're going to find the grace and the strength and the help of God to begin to do things, to do everything in the name of God, for the glory of God. And that will make all the difference. Let us